They didn't talk about the Maccabees in that book that we read about that history. So I just think it's important to understand that this is the so-called Alexander the Great. But when they talked about power, ruthless quest for power, overcoming, taking, slaughtering, murdering, this began that whole sequence of events that keeps repeating itself over and over again. And you got to understand the nature of power. Power doesn't stop.
Right.
I mean, it becomes intoxicating in a sense. We looked at a documentary a little while back, and they talked about the nature of the greed of today.
Right.
And they talked about the quest for money, the quest for fortune.
Right.
It becomes like narcotics in a sense. It's a high that comes from it. So there's never, you can't ever get enough. And so that's the driving thing, is that what is enough? When is enough? When do you have enough? There is no end to that when you're driven by greed and power and hunger. And there is no way of actually existing in a peaceful way with people.
Amen.
You're driven to take what they have, and you're going to take it from the weaker.
Right.
So power is intoxicating. It's a drug. And these jokers are drunk with power. So let's go ahead to chapter 1, 10 through 16, the betrayals of the faith. I think we need to get this. Because when you oppress, when power is driving across the land and pillaging and plundering, there's always those who try to align themselves with the power.
Amen.
Abandon all their beliefs and all their faith to align themselves with the power. Let's look at those people right now. Chapter 1, 10 through 16.
Also crowned after his death, they and their heirs after them for many years, bringing increasing evil on the land. From these there grew, wait, let me get some glasses.
Get them glasses on.
Those lights are there.
Oh, it's clear.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, light up some.
Right.
From these there grew a sinful offshoot. Antiochus Epiphanes, sons of King Antiochus, once a hostage in Rome. He became king in 137 years of the kingdom of the Greeks. It was then that there emerged from Israel a set of renegades who led many people astray. Come, they said, let us reach an understanding with the pagans surrounding us. For since we separated ourselves from the many misfortunes have overtaken us. This proposal proved acceptable, and a number of people eagerly approached the king, who authorized them to practice the pagan observance. So they built a gymnasium in Jerusalem, such as the pagan had.
My Lord.
Disguised their circumcision and obeyed the holy covenant, submitting to the heathen rule as willing slaves of impiety.
My Lord.
Willing slaves.
Come, let us abandon all that we know and who we are and make a deal with the oppressor. Why? Because since we separated ourselves, life has become too hard for us. We separated ourselves. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
The mentality, the slave mentality, that we separated ourselves. We didn't separate ourselves. We've always been separate.
Amen.
There's always been, and we don't control the separating factors. What is it nowadays? Highways, it's taxes, it's property values. Those are separating factors. We don't choose that. We don't separate ourselves. We are separated. We are pushed out.
Well,
But in their minds, let's make a deal. This doesn't seem so bad, so let's disguise our circumcision, disguise our faith, disguise our history and our heritage. Yeah, I gotta go there. I gotta go on, get with it. Come on. Y'all don't want me, I don't want to hear this.
Let it go.
Let me lighten up my skin. Let me change my good African name. Let me straighten up my hair. Let me suit it up. Let me do all the things that deny my history and my heritage. I can't be wearing no name Akbar. I can't be no Ndegwa. I can't be Abayame. I gotta be Tobe, John. I mean, it's the same thing. Do y'all understand this? It's the same thing. But it started then.
Amen.
It started with the Greeks. I mean, of course, we'd had some issues going back and forth. But this changed everything. This changed the game. And I do believe Hellenization was all about getting you to abandon any and everything that you were. But that was just the culture. That was just the surface things get you that they could get you to do. But the imposed things, the soldiers coming in and raping the women to basically try to dilute the race. I believe that's when they realized that they couldn't do it that way. That they couldn't get rid of us like that.
Well,
because they start to darken up. I think that changed the game. When they realized that our biology was a threat to them. Not only our numbers, but our biology. I think that was the problem that's still playing out today. They know this. So when we running around talking about integration and talking about holding hands and talking about the Rainbow Coalition and we just want to integrate, we don't want to fight, let's love one another. When we running around singing that song, the story behind the scenes, the history tells them that we can never be that. We can't ever align ourselves on that level, simply because it's total annihilation for us.
well,
That began here.
That's right.
You got to understand this history. It's important that we get it.
That's right.
And to abandon all that you believe, all that you are, all that you've come to know, and with the hopes of avoiding a battle or struggle. It's impossible. It's a waste of time.
well,
Because the oppressor does not give up power. And he will not miss the opportunity to exploit the powerless.
well,
Amen.
It's in the book. It's in the Bible. It's throughout the Bible. Why a lot of stories didn't make the Bible simply because the dynamics were so plain.
Amen.
That's why this book didn't get in there in a lot of instances.
well,
All right, let's look at chapter 1, 16 through 29. Oppression and powerlessness.
Once Antiochus had seen his authority established, he determined to make himself king of Egypt and the ruler of both kingdoms. He invaded Egypt in massive strength and chariots and elephants and a great fleet. He engaged Ptolemy, king of Egypt, in battle, and Ptolemy turned back and fled before his advance, leaving many casualties. The fortified cities of the land of Egypt were captured, and Antiochus plundered the country. After his conquest of Egypt in the year 143, Antiochus turned about and advanced on Israel to Jerusalem in massive strength. Insolently breaking into the sanctuary, he removed the golden altar and lampstands for the light. With all its fittings together, with the table for the loaves of offering, the libation vessels, the cups, the golden censers, the veils, the crowns, and the golden decoration on the front of the temple, which he stripped of everything. He made off with the silver and gold and precious vessels. He discovered the secret treasures and seized them. And removing all these, he went back to his own country, leaving the place a shambles and uttering words of extreme arrogance. Then there was deep mourning for Israel throughout the country.
My Lord.
Rulers and elders groaned, girls and young men wasted away. The women's beauty suffered a change. Every rich groom took up a dirge. The bride sat grief-stricken on her marriage bed. The very land quaked for its inhabitants. And the whole house of Jacob was clothed with shame.
Well, all right now.
Right now.
That oppression bad for your beauty. That's to make the young girls look weak, look weary. Make their skin change. Make them get pimples. Oppression is bad for your health. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's go back. Let's look at Antiochus. Let's try to understand him. There was a period in this history where Antiochus was a captive in Rome. He had been captured and held, well, it was in lieu of payment, because his father had tried to invade Roman territory and had got beat. And so because he had lost the battle, he had to pay tribute to Rome, and they kept Antiochus as in lieu of payment. And so then the area was taxed to try to raise this money to pay off the debt to get Antiochus out of hock. So now Antiochus Epiphanes the fourth is king. And he's going to make sure that we don't ever go that way again. So he said we all got to be one people. And we need to be on one accord. And I got to pay this debt off. So all this fighting and stuff y'all trying to do, and all this one, no, we got to Hellenize, and we got to Hellenize today. And I'm going to raid your temple. I'm going to take all the gold and silver, and I'm going to pay this debt. So you got to understand the dynamics. Here, we thinking, okay, he's just being mean. They're just being who they are.
Well,
There's issues that the powerful have to deal with that you're not privy to, right? You just want to be left alone. I just want to live. I want a good job. I want some good benefits. I want health care. I want to be able to vote. You know what I'm saying? Why can't that ain't much to ask for. I don't understand power. That ain't what power do. Your little voting and your little job and your little retirement plan, are you kidding me? You think? Yeah. We gotta get it right. Okay, let's look at 1:29 through 54. The oppressor should never be trusted.
my Lord.
This is what really kind of blew my mind. I'm saying, what? They went for that okie doke? Go ahead. Chapter 1:29 through 54.
The days passed, and after 2 years, the king sent the message through the cities of Judah. He came to Jerusalem with an impressive force. Okay.
That was kind of mean, but go ahead. Speak up.
That was the winter.
Okay, the days passed, and after 2 years, the king sent the message through the cities of Judah. He came to Jerusalem with an impressive force, and addressing them with what appeared to be peaceful words, he gained their confidence. Then suddenly he fell on the city, dealing it a terrible blow, and destroying many of the people of Israel. He pillaged the city and set it on fire, tore down its houses, encircling walls, took the women and children captive, and commandeered the cattle. Then they fortified the city of David with their strong walls and strong towers, and made this their citadel. There they installed an army and sinful men, renegades who fortified themselves inside it, storing arms and provisions, and depositing there the loot they had collected from Jerusalem. They were to prove a great trouble. It became an ambush for the sanctuary, an evil adversary for Israel at all times. They shed innocent blood all around the sanctuary, deified the sanctuary itself. Defiled the sanctuary itself. The citizens of Jerusalem fled because of them. She became a dwelling place of strangers, estranged from her own offspring. Her children forsook her. Her sanctuary became as deserted as the wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbaths into a mockery, her honor into reproach. Her dishonor now fully matched her former glory. Her greatness was turned into grief.
Well,
Then the king issued a proclamation to his whole kingdom that all were to become a single people, each renouncing his particular customs. All the pagans conformed to the king's decree, and many Israelites chose to accept his religion, sacrificing to idols and profaning the Sabbath. The king also sent instructions by messenger to Jerusalem and the towns of Judah, directing them to adopt customs foreign to the country,
well,
banning holocausts, sacrifices, and libations for the sanctuary, profaning Sabbaths and feasts, defiling the sanctuary and the sacred ministers, building altars, precincts, and shrines for idols, sacrificing pigs,
Have mercy.
unclean beasts, leaving their sons uncircumcised,
well,
and prostituting themselves to all kinds of impurity
My Lord,
and
my Lord.
abomination, so that they should forget the law and revoke all observance of it.
Now, did you go past 54? Cause you just, you.
no, he just up to 52. No, he up to 52.
He getting into it. Go ahead.
Anyone not obeying the king's command was put to death.
Well,
Writing in such terms to every part of his kingdom, the king appointed inspectors for the whole people, and directed all the towns of Judah to offer sacrifice one after another. Many of the people, that is, every apostate from the law, rallied to them, and in so committed evil in the country, forcing Israel into hiding in all their places of refuge.
all right.
All right.
Have mercy.
And now, we gotta realize that this conflict has been going on for 100 and some years now. And okay, for a period of time, you're left alone and you start to get comfortable with what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You're going back and forth to work and you're working in the field, you're eating and you're reaping what you've sown and all that, and life is easy for a minute, but then you get an Antiochus Epiphanes who comes now that he wants to solidify his power. He's been made to feel inferior. He's been imposed upon. So his ego is engaged. And so he's going to do everything he can to solve all these issues and make everything right with the world and make life good again and make Greek great again. Now, hey, come on now. That's what's happening here.
Amen.
But
That's right.
what did they do? How did they do it? How did they go about it? Making us drop our guard. What happened?
Bringing fear.
They came bearing gifts and what did they? You remember the event where they called together all the ministers from all around and had them come and eat crumpets and drink tea? They do that all the time. They started that way back then. As soon as they dropped their guard, then they took out the swords and started hacking and made them pay because they led the people astray. They led the people to let down their guard, and they got taken advantage of. And taken advantage of in a way that was more despicable than anything you can even imagine. Defiled the temple, made them abandon their customs, sacrificed pigs on the altar. I mean, really to the core violations, because all this was against who they were as a people.
Amen.
So it wasn't about just changing your name anymore. It's about anything that actually gave you any semblance of dignity and pride and courage and honor. We want to get rid of all of that. We want to strip you bare. We want to make sure that you never rise again. We want you to disappear completely. All you know is what we give you. All you can be is what we tell you can be.
Well,
If we don't say it, you don't do it. That's total control. But they destroy the religion. You destroy the religion, that means you destroy the soul of a people. You take them to the core, you rip the heart out of them. So if there was any courage, you rip it right out.
Right.
It was deliberate.
Amen.
They knew what they were doing. That's why I said these stories are important, because they lead to the same mode, the same approach, the same way of dealing with oppressed people today.
All right. Amen.
It ain't no new model. This is the same thing they were doing then, they're doing it now.
that's right.
You gotta understand, oppressor, why would you invent a new way when the old way works fine? I mean, why fix it when it ain't broke? It works.
Well,
It works fine.
teach, brother.
We gotta understand that. This didn't just start. This has been going on. They know how to deal with oppressed people. It's in these books. And they've been applying it consistently.
Amen.
Amen.
55 through 64. Let's deal with the conditioning of slaves.
Amen.
Y'all don't want to hear this. I ain't making it up. It's in this book. Y'all just got to get the Apocrypha and read it for yourself. It's in there. That's why I'm having you read it, because I didn't make it up. I can make up some stuff, but I didn't make this up. Go ahead. 155 through 64.
Okay, on the 15th day of Chislev in the years 145, the king erected the abomination of desolation above the altar. And the altars were built in the surrounding towns of Judah, and incense offered at the doors of houses and in the streets. Any book of the law that came into life were torn up and burned. Whenever anyone was discovered possessing a copy of the covenant or practicing the law, the king's decree sentenced him to death. Having might on their side, they took actions month after month against any offenders they discovered in the towns of Israel. On the 25th day of the month, sacrifices were offered on the altar erected over the altar of Holocaust. Women who had their children circumcised were put to death according to the etiquette, with their babies hung with their necks, and the members of their household.
My Lord.
And those who had performed the circumcision were executed with them.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
They were serious about this, right?
No, yeah.
You got to understand it. That's how you condition the people, right?
Amen.
What happened some years later? What do you think was happening? Same guy threw his hand up here. All right, go ahead.
I mean,
What does it remind us of?
it sounded right off of the slave plantation.
Listen, it's in this book. That's what I'm saying. This is in
The whole
this
idea,
book.
when we went to see Birth of a Nation, that was the idea that the slaves could not, they couldn't read, they weren't supposed to have a Bible except if the slave master or mistress was there directing what to read that was there. It was a disruption of families, all of those different things that happened in there. It's control.
Right. And you attack the religion first.
Yes.
If you can take a people's religion, take their God. You know what I'm saying? You take their God, you disconnect them from God. You won't let them practice their observances, their rituals, their way of serving God. You won't let them read the story. You won't let them read the law. You won't let them align their children with the covenant.
Amen.
If you're caught
Amen.
letting them read or aligning themselves with the covenant, the baby was killed and hung around your neck
Oh, my Lord.
so that everybody could see. You strike fear in the hearts. Now this practice, you gotta understand, this started here. This was in 175. This is in BC. We talking 2,000
2,175 years later the same practice. Amen.
And the Willie Lynch papers explicitly show it in detail. I mean, he
Well,
said,
that's there, but that's it.
he said then that all this was going to happen, and it is. And
Yeah, we gotta understand that this was the prototype. This was the defining period in history that
Amen.
keeps playing itself out. The gift that kept giving to them and destroying us.
Well,
We gotta understand that this started way back when.
And he mentions that in his papers as well, that this is not something, I'm not coming up with anything new. This has been done millennials.
This is historic. This is history. All right, let's talk about the faithful few though. We don't want to leave it on that note. Let's talk about the faithful few. There's always some who said this is some fraggle naggle. We ain't gonna do this. We got another idea. Come on, read
Yet there were many in Israel who stood firm and found their courage to refuse unclean food.
Well,
They chose death rather than contamination by such faith as profanity. By such fare as profanation of the holy covenant, and they were executed. They were a dreadful wreck and visited Israel.
okay.
All right. But the faithful few,
Faithful
there's
few.
always some who were faithful. But what? Now you got to understand this. They chose death rather than abandon the covenant and the law. They just simply gave up. They said, okay, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna give up what I believe in. I'm not gonna give up my covenant. I'm not gonna stop reading the law. I'm gonna circumcise my children. So do what you gotta do. Do your worst. And did you think that struck a chord, that pricked the conscience of the oppressor? No, he killed them.
Well,
They were killed in droves, constantly. And then they found out their weakness. All right, let's go to the third choice. Okay. Chapter 2, 1 through 14. Now some chose death rather than abandon the covenant of the law. So it was either Hellenize, forget all that stuff, or die. That's the choices you had. And that's usually the way it seems like you only got two choices, right? Do what they say or else. That's the third choice. Go ahead. 1 through 14. 2, 1 through 14.
in those days, Mattathias, sons of John, son of Simon, and a priest of the line of Jorib, left Jerusalem and settled in Modium. He had 5 sons, John known as Gadi, Simon called Thassi, Judas called Maccabees, Eleazar called Avaron, and Jonathan called Appas. When he saw the blasphemy being committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, "Alas, that I should have been born to witness the overthrow of my people and the overthrow of the holy city, and to sit by while she is delivered over to her enemies, and the sanctuary into the hands of the foreigners. Her temple has become like a man with no refuge. The vessels that were her glory have been carried off as booty. Her babies have been slaughtered in the street, her young men by the enemy's sword. Is there a nation that has not claimed a share of her royal prerogatives, that has not taken some of her spoils? All her ornaments have been snatched from her. Her former freedom has become slavery. See how the holy place, our beauty, our glory, is now laid waste, profaned by the pagans. What have I left to live for?" Mattathias and his sons tore their garments, put on sackcloth and observe deep mourning.
Well, what you think about that? But you gotta understand now, that's when you're a part of something. That's when you believe in something where you're moved by the plight of the people. You know what I'm saying? You're moved by what's going on. You don't turn a blind eye. You can't just overlook it. You can't act like it's not happening. And you look out across the landscape and you see that everybody has benefited from your pain and your misery and your downfall. Every country, everybody has taken something from you.
My Lord.
And left you in ruin.
Amen.
My Lord.
And Mattathias was struck to the core. So they tore their garments and prostrated themselves on the ground, mourning and crying to God for deliverance.
Amen.
But you just think about this now. Look at all the numbers. There's 40 million black people across the world. If at least 1 million of them got that upset about our situation,
Yes, sir.
couldn't we do something?
Well.
Couldn't we change something?
Oh, yeah.
If we were simply moved by the simple tragedy, which is the black life. You know, it's a tragedy. They talk about Shakespeare writing tragedies. This is Greek tragedy. This is an African tragedy.
Well.
If we were simply moved by it.
Amen.
Every country has enriched themselves on our demise.
That's right. Facts now.
So they were moved greatly.
Well.
And that invoked the third choice. All right. Because when God is involved, there's always a third choice, right?
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
I mean, there's possibilities beyond what you can see. But you at least got to be committed to God, committed to your people,
Amen.
and the third choice becomes apparent.
Yes.
Chapter 2, 15 through 28. We're going to wrap it up. Amen. We're going to wrap it up. 15 through 28. Read it. Give me a strong reading. And let's make it happen.
The king's commissioner who were enforcing the apostasy came to the town of Modian to make them sacrifice. Many Israelites gathered around them, but Mattathias and his son drew apart. The king commissioner then addressed Mattathias as follows. You are a respected leader, a great man in this town. You have sons and brothers to support you. Be the first to step forward and conform to the king's decree. All our nations have done. And the leaders of Judah and the survivor in Jerusalem. You and your son shall be reckoned among the friends of the king. You and your son shall be honored with gold and silver and many presents.
Stop right there. Stop right there. You remember the story before? You remember what happened before? Where they came talking nice and skinning and grinning and gifts and all of that? And then they went to killing people as soon as they accepted the so-called handshake of freedom, of friendship. Look back in the history. The Thanksgiving.
Well.
Thankful for that crap. We had never, they let them starve to death. Buried them in a hole. But no, they had turkey, they showed them how to plant corn. And what did they get? Smoke. That's what I'm saying. But Mattathias, okay, they trying to do the same thing here. They trying to employ the same trick here. Go on and read it. We need to hear the rest of it.
Raising his voice, Mattathias retorted, even if every nation living in the king's dominion obeyed him,
Well.
each forsaken its ancestral religion to conform.
Well.
Am I reading the right thing?
Oh, yeah. You read the right thing. You read the right thing.
I, my sons, and my brothers will still follow the covenant.
Amen.
Amen.
Heavens preserve us from forsaking the laws and its observance.
All right, let's stop right there. Now Mattathias is a bad man, ain't he? Mattathias said, I, my brothers, and my sons. I mean, he's speaking for all of them. He said, and you gotta understand, that's a serious place to be, where you know what your brothers are about. You know what your sons are about because you raised them that way. You gotta understand that something. He said, my brothers and my sons, we will never forsake the law and the covenant.
Amen.
I mean, that's it right there. We can close it up right there. You gotta understand who you with. You gotta understand who you working with. Who's in your house. What they believe, what they stand for. That's important. That's what's wrong with the black community. We don't know who we sleeping next to. We don't know what they believe. We find out later, and what we say, I didn't know. My son was a good boy.
My Lord. Mercy.
You gotta
Come
know.
on, Wally.
Raise
Come
them
on.
right. Teach them right. Give them what they need.
Amen.
Make them stand on something.
Amen.
Otherwise, they falling for everything.
Amen.
We can't go that way. All right, we'll continue next week with the stories. God bless you.
Amen.